So you're thinking about getting chickens, huh? Don't mind the dust. So I embarked on getting chickens last spring. Actually, it's been about 2 years in the making, but finally I got them. I wasn't going to get them until this spring of 26, but I got them in the fall of 25. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because getting them young and introducing them to the winter right away, and this has been a harsh winter here in Western New York, was a good idea to get them acclimated to the cold and as harsh as it can be as quickly as possible. And so, yeah, my run looks ratty, and I did that for a reason, because I wanted to do a test run to find out exactly, and before you build something solid and big and bulky, and you're locked into your decisions, I set up this makeshift run so that I can learn from mistakes and add and delete things that I think should or shouldn't be in there. And they're buried on the ground. I use bedding sparingly. Went with the wood chips, which is a good idea. This run has taken a beating with 30-40 mile an hour winds that we've had here, but I gotta say the plastic has held up good. And I've got cattle fence draped over, 3 posts up there, and I've had to add that yellow asphalt rake for some solidity. Part of my problem is that the snow falls off the one side, it gets in between here, and then it makes the one side collapse. I can't stress how much I can't wait till spring to build a hard-sided, hard-roofed run for them. Believe it or not, most of my maintenance this year has been maintaining the run rather than the chickens themselves. I've only got 4, and today, every once a week, we scoop their house, which is down there. They got a nice, cozy little coop in there. It's got airflow, one in, one out on the top there. You can see it right there in the corner above the feeder there. That's our out. And it's got nesting boxes on the other side, auto door to let them out. I had another auto door there where the water is, where you can see that opening, but I had to take it off to maintain it. They're doing great. They're laying. I got my first egg was December, which is later than I thought. But then when I talked to the woman I got them from, she said, "Oh no, mid-January." So I was later than I expected, but then earlier than I expected. And they're laying pretty good. Most of it, I think, is preventing boredom. Like I said, this is a test run to see what I like and what I don't. That trough on the side there's been was a great idea that I came up with, because I had just a tray with grit and oyster shells, and they would poop in there and get all kinds of crap in there. So that hanging on the side, that was $7 at Harbor Freight, and just a couple of bungee cord hooks and hang it on there. And I got an egg in there, a fake egg, so that I had a couple of egg eating incidents, but that's died down since Priscilla, the one there with the pea comb, has learned to leave them alone. That's Priscilla and Pearl, Chatty Cathy, and Emma. Emma with the big horn there in the back. And then this is Pearl Chatty's the second one from the back, and then Pearl here in the front. And Priscilla, she's the oldest by about a month. She's really cantankerous. The other 3 love me. She's just been difficult. And it's funny because when you approach them and they do that submissive squat, she can't help it. She doesn't want to be picked up, but she can't help but squat. And so yeah, I got it tucked in here between the garages. It's I don't know, 7 foot wide by Those are 16-foot 2x4 up there, so maybe 20 foot long. It's just short at the top, and got all kinds of technological advances in there. I got a pan tilt zoom camera. I got a hard camera that goes to my house system, and another camera that's actually inside of the coop there. So I can keep an eye on them and make sure, you know, nobody's sleeping in their nesting box and stuff like that, which most of those habits have been broken. And I got some slits in the plastic to let the wind out. This whole thing during better weather actually rolls up. You got a pull string down there, and you just pull that line with the pulleys and roll it up. And again, it was looking great in the fall when I built it, but after several wind events, it's just been getting its ass kicked. I don't even bother putting bedding down here because it just gets all screwed up. I did for inside of their coop. You could take that whole wall off, and I can access. Now I had a slide out tray in there, but I put that pole in the way, and well, that don't work. This is one of those little homemade, or not homemade, one of the prefabs that you can get on Amazon. I think it was like $100-something, and then I roofed it myself with steel roof, and then added on this section here. It was just this, whatever you see that's gray. I thought that was way too small, so I added the white section here, and I call it the west wing. And the whole point of that was to give them some more area underneath. Now they sleep up top, and that whole bottom section is open and connected to there, so that they can wander around inside, outside. But they barely ever use it. I mean, wind, rain, snow, they're out walking around and chilling and foraging and doing all kinds of stuff. This contraption here was my feeder was an effort to abate rats, and it kind of works. I'm catching rats here and there. I've got a couple of little 4-inch snap tracks in the city. The rats are the size of chihuahuas, but I've been catching them, and that's good. I had one that was super smart. He beat every friggin' thing I did. But the nice thing about the way I got this set up here is that when they're eating, that blue bin is catching everything that they drop, so I can just take and sift it and recycle it and put it right back in. You know, it's not getting lost to the earth. Got another little bread crate that I put some roofing over, and I moved that around. I thought they'd sit under that during windy conditions and huddle together, and they don't even like that. But they sit on top of it. They walk around under it, and I thought they'd start laying eggs under it, which fortunately they did not. They do seem to like their nesting boxes. Now, one important thing about the nesting boxes, I'll open this up even though I really didn't want to again. One important thing about the nesting boxes is that, if you want to prevent egg eating, in my opinion, dark, they're blind. So, open this up, and I got curtains there. So once they get behind the curtains, those are fake, but I collected my eggs already this morning. Once they get behind the curtains and they do their business and they scoot away, those curtains keep them from investigating more. And shit, that's broken right there. And this is what I'm talking about. Before you make huge investments, do a test run first, to the best of your ability. That's where they sleep there. They got a nice window and everything. I got some patio lights in there, but I barely use them. I don't use artificial light to get them to lay longer. I just kind of put those in. There's my camera up there, and my in air with a flap over it to break up so it's not blowing right on them. And then but again, like I say, do a test run. Sorry, I'm sideways now, but there's their water. I tried to do everything solar. Tried my damnedest to do everything solar, but I really didn't want to have to rely on electrical power. And I finally had to give up on that with the with the water. I could not get anything, a pond pump, anything solar activated, or solar charged for them. Now the cameras aren't solar and they're working pretty good. There's all my things now. That black band actually was below that one there. Now I can see that it's blocking some of my charging efforts, which is not ideal. But the cameras run pretty good. There's the outside camera, and the inside camera was taking a beating power-wise, so I finally gave up and plugged that in manual. And then I was like, well, screw it, I've got power now, so I powered the exhaust fan because that's crucial. You gotta have that airflow. If you don't have that airflow, they're breathing stale air, and ammonia is building up and all that shit, literally. So they like I say, you know, don't look great, and people got $1 million setups that are better than mine, but they're happy, and come on, but they're happy, and you know, I'm happy with them. Give them some bedding here and there, put them to work. They love taking chunks of bedding, breaking it up and spreading it around. You got any questions, let me know. But I mean, I'd have to say with everything, the chickens, every little nook and cranny, little gadget thing that I've bought, I'd say I'm still under $1,000, which will take me some time to recoup, you know, with egg dispersion and suggested donations. I'd say egg production since my first egg in December, I'm probably at, I don't know, 30 eggs so far, which is pretty decent. These are Barnevelder chickens. Got great colors. I got them from a woman in Middle New York, Central New York, that shows birds, and man, they are gorgeous. They're gorgeous, and they've got great temperament, and they really don't make too much noise unless there's something wrong. Like, they freak out if they can't get at their water, which is good, you know, good alarm. Yeah, definitely tell me if you can't get at your water for some reason, if it's frozen or out or whatever. But that 2 gallons lasts a week. Every week we do a reset. I'd definitely rather have it cold than wet. Man, wet just is terrible. I'd rather it be freezing from the start of winter to the end of winter. I don't want any thaws. That just makes a mess out of everything. So again, if you're, this was an impromptu video, not really to show anything specific, but just if you're thinking about getting chickens, just be aware of all the, of battling the elements for the most part. Like I said, I've spent more of my time maintaining the damn run in the enclosure than I have the chickens themselves. And I think that a lot of that will abate once I make a hard run setup for them, which will be coming this spring. And I've already got some plans, and I've been looking at this and looking at that and all kinds of videos and trying to decide what's best. Different features. So it's beautiful. It's 2 degrees, but it's still beautiful out. All right. So long.